Hey friends, welcome to the Angie Ambrosetti Show, Let Her Out to Play. I'm Angie, your host, a teenage mom turned multi-six-figure earner, married to the same man for nearly 40 years. I'm a homeschooling mom of 7 and totally unqualified, at least on paper, but wildly called by God. Remember, He doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the called. Here, we are going to talk about it all. Healing from the hard stuff, building a business with heart, raising a big family, walking in faith, and finally breaking free from the lies that said we weren't enough. So if you're ready to stop playing small, shake off the doubt and the shame, and step fully into who you were created to be, girl, you are in the right place. Let's go. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Angie Ambrosetti Show. Goodness, I'm actually recording on Christmas Day. We have some sick kids at home, and so my husband and I just decided we were going to spend the day in our office getting some things done that, those things that we always push to the back burner that we just never get to. So we spent yesterday and today in our office getting some things done, and I was like, this is just a great day to record another podcast and to just thank my listeners for such an amazing start this year. We started back in June. We have recorded 26 regular season podcasts, and we've had a few extras, a few extra bonus episodes that have come in. And my heart is just so full of gratitude right now. Like, I can't even believe all the things that have happened in 2026. 2025, listen to me, I'm already jumping ahead to 2026. 2025 has been such a great year. When I started the year in January, like everyone else, I wasn't thinking what this year was really going to produce, what was going to be the outcome of this past year. And guys, it has been so amazing. And like I said, my heart is just overflowing with gratitude and just thinking about how many lives have been touched this year because of this podcast. I'd actually taken a few weeks off with the holidays and all, and I had several people reach out to me and they're like, hey, I don't see your podcast. I don't see a new episode today. It launches on Tuesdays. And I was just like, will anyone even notice if I don't put a recording out? And several people noticed. And actually, I went 3 weeks without a podcast. I was just trying to be really present with things in my home, with my children, with my grandchildren, getting things done here at my office that needed to be done. And at first, that perfectionism self in me was starting to well up. And even on Monday night of that first week that I didn't launch a podcast the next day, I was thinking, should I just run down to the office? Should I just put some things out there, some things that are on my heart? And I was like, you know what? It's totally fine. It's totally fine if I don't have one every single week. And like I said, I was wondering, would anyone even notice? But people did notice, and they were asking, when are you coming back? What are you going to do? Are you going to talk about this? Are you going to talk about that? So I've had several people give me some ideas of things that they would love to hear me share about and just different things. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to hop on today, and I'm just going to say thank you. Thank you so, so much for supporting me this past year with the podcast. We started in June, and like I said, we've had close to 40. Maybe we've even had 40 with the bonus episodes. I'm not really sure, but I wasn't sure how this was going to go, and I didn't realize how much I was going to love sharing my story, sharing other people's story, and just being vulnerable. Because quite honestly, I have people that reach out to me a lot, and they ask a lot of questions about having a big family, about being married to the same man for so many years, and what it's like to adopt, what it's like to homeschool, what it's like to run multiple businesses, and just a plethora of things. What it's like, being a Christian in a world that doesn't always support that. What it's like being a business owner of multiple businesses, and especially people like to ask about my network marketing business because they want to know, like, how do you do that? How do you continue with enthusiasm, and how do you support that? And so I love all the questions that come in, and I try my best to respond to all of those either right on the podcast, or I respond back individually to people just to let them know that I'm here. Like, I'm not someone who has like this plethora of assistants who does everything for me. Like, it's really me. Like, I'm the one sending the messages. I'm the one responding. And, I'm not an expert at anything, but I do know this is that I know more than a lot of people. And you know more than a lot of people at whatever it is that you're passionate about, whatever it is that gets you out of bed every morning. And I can say for me that it has been all of those things, like walking with the Lord. I'm not perfect at it, but I strive to be in the Word every single day. I strive to teach my children, to bring them up in the nurture and the admonition of the Lord. I get out of bed every day because I love my husband. And December 28th, we will celebrate 40 years of being boyfriend and girlfriend. If you've listened to my earlier podcasts, you know that we met on a blind date, December 28th, 1985. So you can bet that this year, when December 28th comes around, which is just in 3 days, I'm going to have something super fun and special planned, because I remember that blind date. I remember that night that I met my knight in shining armor, right? And, I've talked about things that have been ups and downs over the years. And I'm going to get more into that in January when we launch back out in 2026 and talk about some things that are going to be vulnerable. They're not easy to talk about, but I want to be real. And I want people to understand that it's been a journey. And it hasn't always been sunshine and roses, right? Other things that get me up, like my kids, my grandkids. I love that I've been a homeschool mom for 26 years. It has been a passion of mine. And now my youngest is in his final year, and it's almost kind of sad. Really is sad to think about, but it's the next chapter that's coming. And I don't know what the Lord has in store, but I am excited to see what is going to happen. I also am super passionate about health and wellness. You guys that follow me, you know that I've been carnivore for over 3 years. It's in December this month, it was 3 years that I've been eating a carnivore way of eating. It's not really a diet. It's a way that I eat. I love it. And I am known as the approachable carnivore. I'm carnivore-ish. So I'm doing the little ish marks here, the little hashtags. If you're watching this, maybe you're just listening, I don't know, but I'm not 100%, right? Like, I am probably 90 to 95% carnivore. I love that way of eating. It sustains my body so beautifully. I love the way that I feel, and it makes me excited to eat a very high protein diet, getting rid of all sugars and carbs and all that kind of stuff. And that's me. And so I'm actually starting a carnivore style 75 hard starting January 5th. So if you're interested in that, message me, let me know. I can send you the link to the private group that I'm running. And I'm excited about it. I've had several people ask me about it and want to get involved in it. I think right now we have about 15 to 20 people who are looking to do that with us starting in January. And here's the thing, is that I've learned that when you first get started with anything, no matter what it is, whether you're doing supplements, whether you're working out, whether you're eating a specific way, whatever, it takes time to create those habits. And even like right now, like I'm in the middle of a fast. I've been fasting since Monday, and it actually started because my boys were sick, like I said at the beginning of this. And my youngest actually threw up in my car 2 times as we were traveling home from our Christmas trip with our entire family and all of our grandkids. And I was like, oh my word, I don't want to get sick. So I'm just not going to eat. Like, I'm just going to drink black coffee and I'm going to drink my water, get some hydration in. And so that was Monday. Today's actually Thursday. So I'm looking at almost a 72-hour fast. And I feel so good. So I know that when you're fasting, it's the first 24 hours that are the toughest. It really is. It's the hardest part. Once you get beyond that, like I don't even feel hungry, honestly. I'm looking forward to eating a big, fat, juicy steak tonight because it's Christmas and I love steak and I love butter and I cannot wait to have that for dinner tonight. But just thinking about habits and how they come upon you and what it takes to create a system, what it creates, or what it takes to get in the rhythm of what you're doing. And so if you're interested, and the carnivore style 75 hard is not going to be about fasting. Trust me. I'm just doing this because it just kind of evolved, and with my kids being sick. So anyways, that's kind of where I am there. But again, like whether you're working out or whatever it is, it takes a little bit of time to develop habits. And so to get into that good routine. So I just would encourage you, like, stay the course, whatever it is. And so anyways, just getting back to like all the different questions that people have that they come in with and the suggestions that they have for podcast. I get emails like crazy from people who say, you should have this person on your podcast or that. And, I'm very, let's see, what's the word? I'm very like particular about my guests that come on because I want to deliver the best message in a way that gives my audience what it is that they're looking for. So if you have suggestions, please feel free to message me, respond back to the podcast, whatever. However, you can find me easily on social media, Angie Amberzetti, like super original, right? Whether it's TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, you can find me there. If you have suggestions, please feel free to do that. But I did want to say that I'm so full of gratitude for what the Lord has done in my life for all of these 57 years. And this past year has been so amazing. My family, my husband, my grandchildren, we recently did something different this year for Christmas. We rented a cabin up in Gatlinburg area, and all 7 of our children, their spouses, and our 14 grandchildren were there together. And it was one of the most memorable moments of those several days that we were together that I can remember in a long, long time. And I will say this, that my children, all of them, they were like, we should totally do this every year. And don't you know what that did to this mama heart? Knowing that my kids are so invested in our family, in their siblings, the grandchildren, all being together with their cousins, it was just a beautiful thing. I don't really even have words to say how grateful I am for the time that we all were able to spend together. We went to Dollywood. We watched movies. I watched Harry Potter for the first time, and some of my grandkids watched it for the first time. I was never a fan of that when my older kids were growing up, but I really did enjoy watching it. We made popcorn. We played games. We played cards. There was a swimming pool and a hot tub and a sauna. And don't you know, us girls, we so enjoyed that sauna. And I just had the best time. We cooked some great food. We laughed. We reminisced. And isn't that what tradition is all about? We celebrated 2 of my granddaughters' birthdays. They're 2 days apart in December. So we had a fun birthday party for them. We did our Christmas exchange. And I don't know about you guys, but we do a white elephant gift exchange. And this year was one of the funnest. I'm telling you, every year it's a lot of fun. But this year there were just some things that came out. We laughed, we stole gifts, we did all the things. And I will say, like, this has never happened before, but I wish I had it to show you. But 2 people actually purchased the exact same gift. I don't know if you've seen this on social media or anywhere, but it's called a SHART, SHART, emergency kit. Oh my word, it was hilarious, especially to watch. Well, I was one of them to get one. My daughter got one, and we were trying to get rid of those things like crazy, but it was a lot of fun. And the memories that you create, I mean, honestly, as you're celebrating Christmas with your family and New Year's and birthdays, whatever it is, the memories that you create are what it's all about. I mean, it just does my heart so much good to see My grandchildren and my children have so much fun laughing with one another, with their siblings, with my husband and I. And just my heart literally has been exploding ever since we got there and then came home. I'm like, I can't wait till next year. And the kids, they're all like, let's rent the same house. Let's go back. Let's do this again. And so when you do something that everyone is so in on, it makes all of the difference. I've done things in the past and I think it's the greatest thing ever, but the kids aren't always 100% in. But man, this year, they were so in, and I'm so grateful. I just really am so grateful. And if you're watching, you can see this. So my daughters and my daughter-in-laws, they all got me this bracelet, and it has all 14 of my grandchildren's birthstones in it. And so the biggest issue for me is remembering who goes in what order, right? But it is a beautiful piece that has all their birthstones, and it's just such a great reminder to me how blessed beyond measure that I am to be a mom of 7, to be a nanny to 14 and counting, because who knows how many grandchildren we're going to end up with. We have 3 sons that are not married yet. And my heart is it's just so full of gratitude for what the Lord has done, how he has worked in my husband and I's life all these years, in our children's lives, in our grandchildren's, and what is to come. And so if you walk away with anything from knowing me, from listening to my podcast, from following me on social media, I want you to know that my heart is so grateful to the Lord for what he has done in my life, in my family's life, and what he is continuing to do. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being on this journey with me, following along, and giving your honest opinions and your feedback. And so coming in 2026, I have a few things up my sleeve. But on the last podcast, I did mention that I was going to be talking somewhat about, an imperfect marriage that we've had. And I don't talk about that lightly, because I know that because of the work that the Lord has done in our lives, that we are the people we are because of what he has allowed and how he has redeemed us. And so as today is Christmas Day, most importantly to me and to my family, it is Jesus's birthday. Now there's a lot of debate. Hey, was it actually December 25th? I don't know, but it's the day that we choose to celebrate the birth of Christ. And without him, without his redemption, without his birth, his dying on the cross, his resurrection from the grave, we would have no hope. And so I want you to know that about me. If there's anything that you walk away with, hey, yeah, she's been married a long time. Yeah, she's got a lot of kids and grandkids. And yeah, she's a homeschool mom. But most importantly, first and foremost, she's a follower of Jesus Christ. And without him, none of this matters. So happy birthday, Jesus. Today is your day, and we celebrate you. Thank you so much, my friends, for following along on this journey. And I hope you have a very Merry Christmas. Of course, when you hear this, Christmas is going to be over, but New Year's will be coming just right around the corner. So I will see you then, my friends. Until then, have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. That's it for today, friends. Thanks for tuning in with me today. I hope today's episode stirred your soul, sparked your faith, and reminded you that your story is far from over. Keep walking in freedom. Keep showing up bold, and never forget, God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. Be sure to leave a review, subscribe, or share this podcast with a friend who needs to hear it as well. Until next time, keep letting her out to play, because the world needs your fire.